Such a cool breeze whipping through here. Press, let go. It's gonna capture. Who films your videos? Well, truth is, Steve does. This is Steve. What? Shake it off. All right, guys, so I am driving down a very remote backcountry road right now. I'm literally just leaving an area that I filmed a video for my other channel, Lone Wolf 902. Pouring rain all night last night. I just hiked back to the van, made it back to the van, have yet to change out of my wet clothing. And driving through this area, before I get out of here, I do want to check out a waterfall. It is just up here. I'm going through this kind of an off-road trail in the van with no clearance, two-wheel drive. As you can see, it is crazy bumpy, but the van is making it. So I'm gonna drive all the way down here, pay very close attention, and I'm gonna make a few stops, I guess, today. Basically, I wanna check out this waterfall, see what it looks like, because it just rained last night. It's still raining off and on today, so let's go see if this thing's raging, which it probably is. So check out this trail though. I got to make my way through this, shaking the van all around back and forth. It's kind of a bumpy ride. So hopefully we can get through here without destroying the van. All right, guys, just parked the van and the waterfall is right across this logging road. It's gonna likely be really loud, so fair warning, Boomer's already up there, taking off down the trail. Gonna leave the van parked right here. It's locked up. Let me double check that. All right, let's go check out this waterfall. All right, so this place is pretty epic right now, super loud. This thing is raging top all the way to bottom. I love rainy, wet, kind of jungle feeling days like today, where it's like wet, it's green, it's lush, river is flowing. Awesome. So I'm gonna hike down to the bottom of this waterfall and give you guys a look from the bottom looking upwards. This thing is a beast today. Let's head down this trail without falling. All right, so I'm not even at the bottom yet. Just standing on this peak rock right up here. Pretty sweet view. I'm in the trees right now, being slapped around by these branches. And these rocks are super, super slick, wet. But I'm going out there to get the shot, because that's where the action is, right? Yeah. That's the shot right there. Such a cool breeze whipping through here. Oh, incredible. Nice cool mist blowing on my back. It's amazing how much wind waterfalls actually create. This is like ripping the wind through here. The trees are just blowing. Pretty awesome. So I'm gonna head down to the very, very bottom and give you guys a look from the very bottom up top. And we'll call that a waterfall exploration, and we'll head down the road. All right, so walking down here on the bottom, these rocks are just horrendously wet, slippery. Almost fell a couple times. Looking back at that waterfall, that's pretty sweet. I mean, I'm on a super wide angle lens right now, so it looks really small. It's actually pretty big. So coming through this little pathway, people have been down here fishing, so there's a couple fire pits and a little bit of a walkway down this river. So making it a little easier to traverse, but this is epic. I love, like I was saying earlier, days like this where it's wet. It reminds me back home on Vancouver Island, honestly. Waterfalls, lush and green forests, raining, moderate temperature. Pretty awesome. All right, so I can feel the rain coming through the canopy, which means out of the forest it's probably going to be pouring with rain again. Can't really hear much because our waterfall is crazy loud, but man, it is awesome down here right now. I've done a lot of waterfall camps on my other channel, Lone Wolf 902, but the problem with camping near waterfalls is it's so loud. Two things: can't hear any audio on the camera. The second thing, which is more of a problem, can't hear bears or anything when they're coming around your camp. So sometimes when it's windy, if you're in a hammock, your hammock might bump back and forth. Well, that might be a bear, it might not be the wind, and you'll never know because it's so windy. Yes, I've had problems with that in the past. If you care to learn more, check out Lone Wolf 902. The link is down in the description. Head over to that channel for awesome cinematic camping. So I'm gonna head up this trail. It is quite a steep trail actually, so gonna need both hands for this, I think. But super awesome down here, guys. Waterfalls definitely needed. All right, back on top of the trail, making my way out of there. Whew, starting to sweat. That is one thing I don't like. Summer, wet, muggy, and sweat. So down there it wasn't so bad. Coming back up into here in the open, which it's not raining, surprisingly, it is very sweaty. The bugs are starting to come out, which means mosquito joy, not so much. So let's get this van unlocked, jump back in and head to the next spot. All right, so one of the perks of living this type of lifestyle and being a full-time content creator means you can kind of go wherever you want, when you want, and take your job with you on the road. So that is a huge plus for me, for obvious reasons, because days like this, that I'm coming out of an area filming a video for my other channel, but I'm also able to film a video for you guys here on this channel as well. So kind of multitasking here. I don't need to rush home. I don't need to rush back to anywheres. I don't need to do anything of that nature realistically other than film and upload videos. So this is kind of a great way to take you guys along my journal or travel. My journey and travels with me. I'm staring at this branch. I'm trying not to break my windshield. Okay, there it goes. All right, so yeah. The bonus is I can take you guys with me in a more relaxed fashion and just have fun with it. So I got to make my way down this road. There's a little trail right here looking off that cliff at the waterfall. You know what? Let's take a quick peek at that too. Let's leave the van right here. It's like 10 feet away. And let's see what this trail offers for an overhead view. Okay, this is actually pretty awesome. The composition through this green canopy and the white water and the black calm water is screaming for a photo. So I'm gonna grab my DSLR out of the van, come right here, and I'm gonna grab that photo and get that because that looks like a killer portrait style photo. I love doing this stuff, man. It's just, you get out, you film, you photograph. I'm covering all the bases today. I mean, I already filmed for one channel, filming for another channel. Now I'm covering photography. I'm having fun. I mean, all the boxes are checked, right? So that photo is gonna be on my Instagram, Lone Wolf Wild Camping. Link is down in the description. Check it out. I'm gonna grab the camera, I got it set up right here, bring you guys through that process, and then we're gonna head down the road. Hello, mister. This is Steve. This is my cameraman. I get asked a lot, who films your videos? Well, truth is, Steve does. This is Steve. Okay, the composition for this photo is a little tricky because I'm on a hill and I'm gonna have to dial in these tripod legs, but there's certain aspects I want in my photo, certain aspects that I find too busy or too distracting from the main element. And the main element for me is that bright white water running through the green canopy. So right here where I'm standing is kind of what I'm looking for. Just need to dial in this tripod to get it up high enough to look down on the subject as to not like micro size it or give it the wrong composition. So I want to make it feel like I'm standing right here while I'm taking this photo. So get this set up and have a look through our camera to see what we're looking at. Oh, that's beautiful right there. The trick is it's going to be a long exposure. So any kind of leaves that are moving are going to get ghosted because I want that smooth effect with the water. So I'm going to try and take a photo when there's no breeze or no wind, match my shutter time to give me maximum smoothness in the water and very little movement in the leaves if possible. Let's try and bang it out. All right guys, so I've got my camera dialed in here. That's the live view of what we're looking at. We've got a 2-second timer on. Press, let go. It's gonna capture. And finished photo. Like I said, that finished photo is going to be on my Instagram. I'm just gonna take a couple more just in case there's ghosting in some of these leaves. I like to bang out 2 or 3 of the same composition just to make sure there's no blur. Because once I get home in the computer or back in the van or wherever I'm going this evening, or tomorrow, sorry, I'm going camping again this evening. When I get back to wherever I'm going, probably in the city, I'll be able to go through this footage and pick out a clean image. And yeah, just play it safe this way. So that is pretty awesome. I've got my microphone up here already because I'm actually going to bang out some film as well of this for this video that you guys are watching right now. So for that, I'm going to go to, I'm actually going to bump up my ISO to 400 because I want depth of field. So I'm going to go to F4 and let it roll. All right, so I think that was fairly successful, bringing you guys in a little bit behind the scenes. And you guys will see a lot of that on this channel, a lot of behind the scenes, because it's in the moment. It's you know, uncut. Everything else I do is set up the camera and go back and then kind of walk into it. This channel is more of just do it, right? So I like keeping my camera and Steve, or Steven, whatever you want to call them. I like keeping camera on my front seat. So kind of doing this with one hand. I keep my camera on my front seat with my camera bag, as well as the drone. Everything packed right there, nice and neatly where I need it. That way, if anything epic happens, kind of like it just did, I can get after it really quickly, as I am a one-man show. It makes it very beneficial to have everything where you need it. Not only that, find interesting things of working with one hand. Kind of like collapsing Steve's legs here. So, that's that. Let's get him back in there. Situated and continue down the road. All right, so I've got you guys positioned on top of the refrigerator right now. Hopefully that's stable enough. I have yet to mount a ball head on the dash of the van, which is on my to-do list. So I will be mounting a ball head so you guys can kind of hang out without being rattled like I am. I'm thinking about putting one right up here on this trim piece. I just need to secure that more. A ball head there that can be removed, and a ball head on the dash, kind of obviously not in front of my bumpy there, not in front of my cell phone mount that I just mounted, but in that general area. I also did start a new series on Lone Wolf 902 called Whatever Wednesdays. Basically, that is a mini series. It's a video midweek because on that channel, I like uploading Friday and Sunday as well as Wednesday. So Wednesday is going to be a little video in between. The reason why I'm mentioning that is because I'm going to be doing little van projects on that channel as well and more behind the scenes. So if you guys are tuned into both this channel and Lone Wolf 902, you guys will catch everything and it will totally make sense, because if you miss one video, the next video on the other channel might not make any sense. So they're kind of intertwined like DNA. That's the reason why I'm mentioning that channel a lot today, is a lot of the content is going to start melding together. It's going to be intertwined. So tune into both channels. If you're not subscribed, I highly recommend you do, and turn all notifications on, because there's going to be a lot of stuff coming, a lot of major things that you guys do not want to miss out on. Huge adventures, huge behind the scenes updates on what's been going on the last few months, where I want to be in the next couple months, all that fun stuff. So tune into both channels and make sure you watch all the videos, because there are going to be Easter eggs and a lot of them, as well as an upcoming giveaway. So you have to be tuned in, because they're going to be doing questionnaire for those who are tuned in, and whoever wins is going to basically be taking home a $5,000 care package of camping equipment. I can't say what, but that's all I'm going to say. Subscribe, tune into the videos, and pay attention, because soon there will be a questionnaire drop. And those who pay attention, you guys will be in the foot for winning. So I got a major puddle up here, a whole bunch of them. I'm gonna traverse through here without destroying the van and get out to this main logging road and figure out where we're going from there. All right, guys, I just arrived at the location where I'm going to basically start hiking and camping for the night. I'm going to be using a tent. It is very foggy out here. It is significantly colder here than it was the last location. It took me about 2 hours to drive here, so a massive change in temperature. So first off, when I get ready for my trips and adventures, when I'm doing multi-day trips like I am today, first of all, getting changed. So I haven't got dressed yet. I'm still in my clothing from yesterday hiking and stuff. So I do need to get dressed and get these clothing items that I'm going to be bringing with me, because I'm going to be hiking way out here. Like I said, I am going to be sleeping in a tent. So I've got pants, I've got socks that I'm going to wear to bed, socks that I'm going to wear today, boxers, a shirt. So I'm gonna bring, I left my long sleeve shirt in my Jeep. I don't have any long sleeve shirts in here, which is not good. I do have a bunch of hoodies though, so I might just wear this hoodie, or I might bring my other Patagonia with me. Oh, no, I just reminded myself of something. I got a new down jacket just the other day. Outdoor Research. Very, very nice downfill jacket. I think I'm gonna bring this. I'm looking at my Patagonia, I might bring that, but I think I'm gonna bring this and a hoodie instead. No, I'm gonna bring this and I'm gonna bring the rain jacket. That's what I'm gonna do. So, jacket, the reason why I'm doing that is the down jacket is super lightweight, it's very puffy, it's gonna keep me warm. Hoodie is always a good idea, but it is bulky, it is heavy, and if it gets wet, it's gonna be even heavier. Rain jacket, which I've got a dry one hanging up right now, obviously to protect the down layer, and it works as a wind block, and I can ball it up and use it as a pillow if it's dry. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave the hoodie here because, like I said, it'll get heavy, sopping wet. So clothing situated, throw this stuff back in here. This hoodie I don't need. So it's really important for me whenever I plan these hike-in trips on bad weather days, back to back like I am right now, is to just take a moment of clarity and reset. Not just physically, but mentally, like reset and get back in the mood for
for hiking, because sometimes after you go camping over and over and over again, you can kind of get wore out from it in a sense. So it's really important to stay fresh and keep it fun. Even though this is my job, it is my career, I still need to keep it fun. Boomer's got his sweater on. Come on. He doesn't know how to get over here because of the chair. So Boomer's got his sweater already on. We do have his jacket, which I think I left down on the floor. So he's gonna be putting on a big puff jacket as well, and that'll help him keep nice and warm. He's super dry right now. He was sitting in the bed, sleeping the entire drive. So he will be nice and warm, and he loves it out here too, so shake it off. What? Shake it off. Looked like he was gonna shake. There it goes. So I'm gonna give you guys a rundown of how I pack my backpack, because everything in there is soaking wet right now. Some pieces of gear I have to reuse on this trip, and hiking. All right, so one thing I should also mention is I am hiking with an injury. As you guys can see, I got a big old massive cut under here. Pretty nasty looking from all this tape and stuff, but I am hiking with a big old cut on the inside of my leg, or my ankle, which is not going to be fun on the inside of my boot. So I'm going to leave this bandage on there. I'm going to bring another bandage so I can change it later on. But yeah, injury and hiking is never fun, especially right there. Such a bad spot. All right, so it just got changed. Luckily, I did find a long sleeve shirt down in my wardrobe. Totally thought it was in the Jeep, but it's right here. I do have the tent that I'm going to be using for this trip. This is the Nature Hike Cloud Peak 2. Very good in windy and rainy conditions. So I'm also charging a battery right now for my DSLR. So I need that charged, and a bunch of camera gear. I got all my camera gear in the front seat right now. So like I said, long sleeve shirt, down jacket, got my socks there, change of clothes that I'm going to need. The inside of the van right now is totally trashed. The whole bed, I got all the blankets and pillows pushed all the way back to the bike. A duffel bag full of clothing. Everything's just a gong show in here. That's what happened. So what I also like to do while I'm in here is kind of go through, ooh, well, that's not good. I literally just fixed this. Not this one, but the opposite one. Now this one just ripped off. I have to put a new screw in there to fix that knob. But what I like to do now is go through my food stuff. So what am I thinking about eating, or what am I going to cook while I'm out there? This particular location is going to be windy, it's going to be wet, it's going to be exposed. So I'm not going to be cooking a big glamorous meal. Probably just going to do more of like a hike and camp type deal, you know, fast and simple ramen. So I've got a bunch of ramen in the van. I've got some instant mashed potatoes. I've got a bunch of rice. I've got some of these backpacker meals that require water. The thing with ramen is it doesn't need a lot of water. You only need about an inch in the bottom of a pot to make a whole thing of ramen. So I'm gonna do ramen noodles. That seems like the best way to go about that as far as packing and not having to bring a lot of water. I'm gonna be bringing a canister stove as well. So just kind of going through my head, what do I need? What am I going to want? I ripped that knob off again. Gotta fix this tomorrow at some point. So yeah, not a whole lot going on here then, I guess. I know this might be a little boring, but I know someone's gonna get some real good use out of this. Knowledge or a good laugh. I mean, it's up to you. So ramen noodles, check. I can reach in the refrigerator, see if there's any vegetables I want to add to that. Most likely bring a bit of spinach. We'll see. I do have some naan bread, non-cookable food. So I have this container in here that I keep full of drinks, like drink mixes and stuff. I also have these wasabi peas. So that I'm going to add to the ramen. I have miso soup. I'm not going to bring that, but I do have one of these chai lattes. So these are really good. Definitely bringing a chai latte. I'm going to bring, what do I want to do? I want real coffee. I'm going to bring an instant coffee just in case, but I'm also going to bring real coffee and a few coffee creamers. The reason why I'm kind of stumbling on my thought here is because everything I pack needs to correspond with the dishes that I'm going to pack. So that means coffee creamers, I need to store these in my cup so they don't get punctured and have coffee cream all over the place. I'm going to bring 4 of those. And then the pot that I need to cook the ramen in also needs to be a large pot, which is stored underneath the camera. So I'll get that out in a second. And then that means I only need a small cup. So this is all what goes through my head while I'm packing. Everything is chosen for a specific reason. All right, so I also have a headlamp here. This is from Nightcore. This is the HC65UHE. This thing is incredibly bright, loads of modes, and red light mode, which is why I chose it. Reaching into here, what am I looking for? So I got this bag that I keep most of my titanium cookware and stuff in. Okay, so this pot, this is from Silver Ant. It is, I believe, a 2-liter pot. I'm gonna bring this because this is what I'm gonna cook my ramen in. So right away, I'm gonna take the ramen, slam it down in there. The peas, the creamers, don't want to get those punctured, fake coffee, chai tea mix, all that stuff inside of the pot. I'm then going to bring my little Primula coffee filter, put that inside of there. I need a cup, so I'm going to bring this small cup, Unigear Titanium. I believe that's a 400 ml. And I think that's about it out of that bag. In my backpack from last night, camping out in the rain, I do have some dishes and things in there that I need to also get out and air some things out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fan all of my things out all over the van when I leave to go hike. And then hopefully when I get back tomorrow, some of it will be dry. I do have the Sofern LT1S light. I'm going to be bringing this because there's many different modes and brightnesses, as well as red, which is a huge thing for me. So this is quite heavy, but it is well worth carrying, especially when I need to light up the tent. So that is going to come with me as well. I think that's basically it for stuff back here. Time to rip into the backpack. All right, so I got some wet, stinky shoes. Put those up on the driver's seat, I guess, along with their nasty socks. Okay, coming into the backpack, right off, I know that, okay, the sleeping bag I don't need, so I can take that out because I have another sleeping bag. I don't know where I put it. Oh, right up here. So I do have the sleeping bag that I'm going to be bringing tonight because this Thermarest down bag is damp and wet. The backpack's totally soaked on the outside too, guys. So here's the wet, nasty tent that I just used last night. Here's my wet, nasty, damp sleeping bag. Throw that up on the bed. Oh no! Just dropped my pot all over the place. Okay. This channel is totally unscripted. You are living it as I'm living it. Okay, that is a canister stove. I need to bring that, which means I need the canister. I don't need that light, but I do need this mattress. I'm bringing that sleeping pad. I need a canister, and I don't know where the canister is. Oh, it's inside that pot. Okay, so what is this stuff? Stool, chair. I've got a knife. I do want to bring a knife, but probably not that one. That one doesn't fare so well in the rain. Titanium spoon, titanium fork. Going to be bringing those. Nalgene bottle. Going to be bringing that. And obviously bringing the backpack. So, gather all this stuff back up. Toss it in the pot. Sometimes it's not that glamorous, guys. This is how it gets done. So all of that stuff in there, I'm good with that. I could probably just put the lid on there then. I think I'm quite confident that's all that is going to go in there. There is a titanium pan underneath that pot as well that I like to use as an extra dish sometimes for Boomer, for water dish or whatever I need to use it for. So I'm going to leave that. This cup here is still dirty from last night, quite dirty actually. Yuck. I will clean that tomorrow. But I am going to steal the mesh bag for this cup. That way the lid doesn't go flying off of there. I do have some non-cookable food. These gummies. These are wine gums, little sugar boost. I'm going to jam the whole bag inside of the cup. And then I have these dried coconut bites, dehydrated. Jam that bag inside the cup and cinch this little bag up. I love these bags because it keeps the lid on. Everything stays inside. So I've got the pot, I've got that. I need the canister for the canister stove. The canister that I'm bringing, or the canister stove that I'm bringing, is a titanium one. That canister almost feels kind of empty, actually. That's not good, because the other one that I have inside the van is even emptier. That doesn't feel good. Oh, that does not feel good at all. And that one. See, this is what I really dislike about canister stoves. Last night I was out in the wind and rain, and I really had to use up a lot of gas. I shouldn't have. Oh no. And I don't have enough. See, I didn't restock. I've got this bottle of methyl hydrate. There's not a lot in there, and that's for my Trangia stove. That right there, I don't think is enough to cook up. Let me think about this. All right, so I did a little bit of thinking and reconfiguring. This is where I'm at so far. I am bringing the Trangia with this tiny little bit of alcohol fuel. There is a little bit left in the Trangia alcohol stove. I'm gonna have to really ration my fuel. I did bring 3 little fire starters. If worse comes to worse, I can pile some rocks, light those fire starters, and make a makeshift stove and get that to boil a pot or a cup if I really need to. We're gonna see what happens there. So I did switch to the entire Trangia cook set. Food and everything's in there other than the noodles, they don't fit. So that's all in there. I am bringing, the cup is still the same. The only thing that got swapped out was the pot, the canister stove, and the canister. As you guys can see, those are fairly large items. All switching out just for the Trangia, which is smaller. It has a windscreen built into it. It's far more efficient in burning fuel, and a couple extra dishes in there as well. Water, I'm gonna be bringing this Trangia bottle here. Gotta fill that up. And then sleeping pad, which is the Amok pad right here. I'm gonna be bringing that. Sleeping bag, which is down here, near zero sleeping bag. This is the mummy bag in a long. It is rated for -8 degrees Celsius. This thing will be nice and toasty and warm. I'm trying to get this Nalgene bottle filled right to the top. I mean, I'm sure there's puddles out there that I can get water from as well, but I'm gonna have to boil that water, which is a huge waste of fuel, which I'm already kind of scrimping and scraping at right now. So I've got a full bottle of water. This is really heavy. One of the heavier things to carry. So that's all done. I pack this stuff away. And this is what I mean about packing your gear. Like, everything's dictated by the next piece of gear. So bringing ramen noodles, I know that I have to have a pot large enough to cook the ramen noodles. Fuel source will dictate what type of cook set. If I'm bringing a canister stove, or am I bringing the Trangia? All these things come into play. And this is where people that don't do this often, they have the misconception of grab things and throw in a backpack and go for a hike. And that is absolutely not the case. There's way more complexity to it than just grab some things and throw it in, because you'll get all the way out there and then you'll realize, geez, I forgot this or I forgot that. Now I can't light my stove because I didn't bring alcohol fuel, or uh-oh, I brought the canister stove, but I didn't bring the canister. So that's why all this stuff is really important to go through. And I know this is going to bore a lot of people. You're probably going to be, geez, you know, stop talking. Let's get on with it. But that's what this is all about. It's about learning and listening. So I'm happy with that. My phone's fully charged, my headlamp's fully charged, my camera batteries are fully charged. The wind is picking up. It is cold and brisk out there, so I'm gonna have to keep batteries in my pockets to keep them warm. Down jacket will help with that. Yeah, I think that's it. Just got to cram this all in the backpack. All right, so first thing to go in the bag, the backpack's soaking wet. Sleeping pad. I like putting that way down in the bottom. What is in there? There's something else in there? No? Oh, tent pole. Tent poles from the other tent. That would be awful annoying to carry that around and not need it, as well as a folding chair. I won't need that. All right, so sleeping pad on the bottom, Trangia follows, cup. These are standing up items. Tent. This is going to be a stand-up item as well, so it'll just slide right down in there. I'm very particular with how I pack my backpack, and I prioritize it mainly around camera, which I know sounds strange, but whatever happens, I need to be able to film. So I like to be able to get stuff in there. If I were in the real world of camping, I would prioritize over my tent being the first thing to get out. That way I can get dry. Realistically, the first thing I need to get out is kind of sometimes backwards from the real world. Ramen noodles there, spoon and fork I wear on my hip pocket. I got fire starters in there as well. I will be bringing a carabiner with a flint wheel on it. So this is from, what is this from? Outdoor Elements. One of these fire beaners. I clicked that to the outside of my backpack. I'm also going to be bringing a knife with a fire steel. Not this one, because this does not do well in the rain, wet conditions. It'll rust up. So, bottle of alcohol, absolute must bring that. Trying to get this jammed in the side of the backpack pocket. So there's no fire today, so I don't have to worry about bringing stuff for a fire like a saw or an axe. My socks, I'm going to jam. I am going to be putting the rain fly on my backpack, so that's why I'm not really worried about putting things in a dry bag. Headlamp, I'm going to fold downwards so it can be locked out. And I'm actually going to put this in my hip pocket as well. Not that I'll need it, but it's just easier to have there, not worrying about is it clicking on or off if it does come unlocked. Down jacket, pop that up here for a moment, get it kind of out of the way. And that's almost done. So did I put, oh, sleeping bag right here. Sleeping bag. It'd be a cold night without that. I'm gonna leave the sleeping bag in the stuff sack for now, which I never do, so that's kind of new to me, because I'm going to be putting some camera gear in this backpack. Tomorrow when I hike out, I'm just going to cram everything in there in a big giant mess. I don't like using the stuff sack because it defines the shape, and if honestly it's already defined a shape there now in a cylindrical form, I don't like that because there's a lot of bagginess here that I can actually jam the sleeping bag in wherever I want it to. But for today, I will use the stuff sack. Tomorrow, I will not. All right, I want to get the rest of this filled, and then it should be time to go. All right, guys, I've got everything packed inside of the bag, which is right there. I even put the rain jacket in on top because it's not raining right now. I've got my down jacket on with a full hood, so I will stay totally nice and warm with this. I love it because it's very, very lightweight, but ridiculously warm. I've got some waterproof shoes on, Fjallraven pants, which are very durable. Backpack is ready to go. I'll throw the rain fly on if I need later on, but honestly, I'm going to leave it off for now because this wind and breeze will help dry out the backpack, and that'll be nice if it doesn't rain by the time we set up the tent. If it does rain, well, then I'll have to put the rain fly on and stay dry, and my rain jacket as well. So just doing a final look in the van. I think all of that's good. I've got my keys in my pocket. I'm going to lock up the van and basically head down the trail and start this video here on Lone Wolf 902. So if you guys are interested in checking out this overnighter, check out the video on the other channel. If it's not uploaded yet, it will be very soon. So check back Fridays and Sundays on that channel. And don't forget whatever Wednesday on that channel as well. So I'm about to throw this backpack on, start hiking up this trail for an epic overnighter. I'll see you guys in the next video.